Today, you will have clear-cut reasons for everything that has happened to Tesla and the market over the past 6 months. That's right. I'm going to explain it all. Gary Black, Yahoo, and others will all be offering their takes. Let the fireworks begin. So this is Randy Kirk. If you like my morning show, I know I'm late this morning, but there's no market, so I slept in. Shoot me. So anyway, tomorrow morning, we'll try to shoot for 7:10 for the market, for the pre-market and opening of the market, and provide you with some news and information that might help you with your day. And today we're going to be talking about, as I mentioned, all the reasons why the market's doing what it's doing and why Tesla's doing what it's doing. And if you like it, hit the like. If you could subscribe, you'll obviously make me happy and you'll make the algorithm happy. And then the notify button. Did you miss yesterday? If you missed yesterday, you need to go back. I'll put it down in the information below, and you need to take a look at in fact, there's a card right above where you could start with yesterday morning. You don't want to miss all the stuff. It was by far my biggest day. So take a look at that deal yesterday. And then in the afternoon, I did a Q&A with regard to the morning program, where basically I took a look at what will happen to Tesla in 2026. Again, if you missed it, be sure to go back and take a look at that. And then coming up this week, I've got Larry Goldberg coming on. I have got my spreadsheets for 2023 and 2024 coming up this week. So if you hit notify, you'll get notified of those things. And then thank you for all the new Patreon people coming on board. There is a 7-day free trial. So I think that might be causing more and more people to join Patreon, but that information will also be below. All right, let's get into it. Let's start with a few pieces of news that are certainly affecting Tesla stock prices. Well, Tesla doubled registrations to 127,541 in the first 4 months of 2023 in the USA. Remarkably, the Model Y was the second most popular vehicle of any kind in the United States, with only the Ford 150, only the pickup truck, beat it, posting 240,000 sales during that period, during the first 4 months, looking at 720,000 potentially for the year just in the US. So will Tesla catch the Ford F-150 pickup truck with the Model Y this year? No, that won't happen. However, Tesla Model Y will be the number one selling car. It already is the number one selling by unit volume car in the world, but not going to catch the F-150 this year. Maybe next year. All right. Now, battery electric vehicles as a whole so far in the first 4 months are at 7% in the United States. So that, again, is a big record. That is up from 4.4 in the same period last year. So very close to doubling last year in terms of the percentage of all light vehicle sales. Of course, this puts the United States way behind Europe and China. China is now somewhere over 30%. Europe is over 20%. Some of the countries in Europe are at 90%. So the US has a long way to go. Most of the time, I don't want people to follow California right now because California is doing some really stupid stuff. But the one thing California's ahead on, clearly, and has been for a long, long time, is fashion. Whatever's fashionable rolls out in California, rolls out in New York, and then it goes to the rest of the country. Well, the rest of the country hasn't caught up because California is over 17% at this point. I don't have the latest stats, whereas the country as a whole is only at 7%. So you can guess that there's a lot of states where the numbers are closer to 2%. So, but that's going to happen. It's just going to start going on. All right, number 3 in the news is beta 11.4.4 has started rolling out to testers. Now, I'm not sure exactly what testers are. I know that would be their own people within the organization that test, but I wonder, does that also mean some of the people that, like Chuck Cook, who are obviously quickly going out and doing YouTube videos? I'm not sure. I am certainly looking for a significant breakthrough soon on FSD. All the testers, all the people that are doing YouTube videos say it's getting smoother, etc. But there's still lots of errors. I'd like to see the errors go away. All right, so Gary Black, let's start talking about what happened to Tesla. We'll start with that. Now, these are not some of these things I'll agree with, some not. Gary Black says this morning on Twitter, with all due respect, Tesla's amazing stock run, up 14 of the past 16 sessions, plus 42, whereas the NASDAQ only up 11. Now that's a Ford Delta, which is pretty normal for Tesla. Actually, the Ford Delta, I'm not sure, is that against the NASDAQ? Somebody tell me in the comments below. Is the Delta in Tesla's case against the NASDAQ or is it against the Standard & Poor's? I'm not sure. But anyway, almost 4 times the NASDAQ is due to one, firming the pricing. I agree with that. That eliminated some of the, what do you call it? Discontent among potential stockholders. This increased, he says, that increased confidence that the second quarter gross margins will be the bottom. Well, I think the first quarter gross margins were the bottom and the second quarter will be up. Number 2, he said, was the Cybertruck launch coming. I think that has nothing to do with why the stock is going up right now, maybe up 1%. Okay. Number 3, the strong May-June China volumes. I think that is a confirmation item. I don't think it's dramatically affecting. I think the fact that the Chinese numbers are okay, they're as good as anybody might have expected. If they had been worse, that could have hurt the stock. I'm not sure the fact that it's hitting the numbers is helping that much. Number 4, the Tesla charging deals with GM and Ford. Absolutely agree with this one. Maybe the number 2 or number 3 most important thing that took place. Basically, General Motors, Ford, Volkswagen, Toyota, and so many other companies just capitulating and saying Tesla's the leader. They are uncatchable. That is no longer our goal. And so, yes, I think that's having a huge effect. He says, the AI tech sector, I put those 2 words together, the AI tech sector hitting new all-time highs. Okay, the AI thing was a breakthrough thing. Whether it was ChatGPT or NVIDIA or both together, those 2 things have impacted the stock market as much as anything this year. And certainly Tesla at least has a perceived value as having a tech orientation and also an AI capability. I think that's becoming stronger and stronger. Why? Because Elon is out talking about it. Elon is the salesman. He is the one telling the story, and he's out there like crazy, and people are starting to get it. People are starting to believe it. Number 6, he says, is that Tesla's AI excitement, robo-taxi and bots, specifically are affecting it. Yeah, maybe. There's probably people in the community that maybe are buying stronger right now because of robotaxi and bots. But I did a couple of polls on Twitter today. I'll talk about those polls maybe later today, maybe tomorrow. I was kind of shocked by those polls. Anyway, to take a look at them, go to Twitter and take a look at my polls. Maybe you could vote because the numbers are really small so far. Number 7, he says, is record second quarter volume of 450,000, which is plus 75 year over year. So that's the projection right now. I think it'll be higher than 450,000. The street is a little lower than 450,000. But yes, if we hit 450 or more, that's good. If we hit 460 or more, that's great. I'm now at 460. That's my new number. I have reduced that from 490. Number 8, expected Wall Street price target increases. Tesla is now 33% above the average of the $195 price targets. But a bunch of price targets were increased over just the last few days. So I would expect some of those price target increases to affect the stock tomorrow morning, meaning we may go into a continuation of the uptick. Number 9, the advent of Tesla advertising should accelerate EV adoption. Well, the advent of Tesla advertising is only a conversation so far. So I do think that it took something off the table that might have been hurting the stock, but I don't, until they execute on that, I don't think it's really going to have any continuing effect. Number 10, Ford and General Motors charging deals could add 20 cents a share to Tesla EPS. I don't think people have done the numbers. You've had a couple of, I've done the numbers. I put up videos on it. Other people have done the numbers. I don't think very many people are paying much attention to the fact that that Tesla's going to make money off of Ford and GM. It's such a long-term thing. I mean, Ford and GM sales right now are so small, it's not going to have much effect for years to come. Okay, Yahoo says that there are three main reasons that the market is up. It says because number one, the Fed is less hawkish. Absolutely, no question. It goes without saying. Number two, that the recession has been called off. Yes, no doubt about it. The recession is not going to happen. I've been saying that for how long? So yes, there's not going to be a recession. Because it's really hard to have a recession when you have 100% employment, when you have full employment. I mean, 3.5, 3.6 unemployment is full employment. And then number three, that the market is not going to tank. Well, there's a bunch of folks out there that were saying that the market was going to crash again, going to go to all-time lows, maybe even go below because of inflation, because of the Fed, because of the recession, et cetera, et cetera. Well, almost nobody. There's a few guys still out there, believe me, that are saying that we've got another down leg that'll be significant and may even go back to lower lows than the bottom of the bear last September. Not many people think that way. Now, sometimes people say when the sentiment is all going positive, that's the time to watch out. But no, we're in the first leg of a bear. It is very unlikely that we are going to be testing even the September lows. But Yahoo, in their top three, missed a pretty important one. Oh, would it be maybe that inflation is over? That the inflation problem is gone? That nobody thinks inflation is a problem anymore? Well, it's a problem. And, we're still seeing little evidences of it here and there, but I think that should have been number one. So I like Yahoo. I think they're actually one of the best business reporting places out there. But boy, I think they really missed it on this one. Inflation being solved is the number one reason that the market is doing well. All right, here's Randy's version, okay? We have a huge shift in sentiment. You've heard me say this. There's videos about this. You can go back and look and see the videos about this. In recent weeks, the consensus has shifted with strategists across Wall Street revising up their year-end price targets for the S&P 500. This includes Goldman Sachs going to 4,500 from 4,000, BMO Capital Markets, Brian Belsky going from 4,300 to 4,550, the B of A's, Savitas, I can't even pronounce his last name, Subramanian, to 4,300 from 4,000, and RBC Capital Markets, Lori Calvasina, sorry, going from 4,100 to 4,250. And then you also see Julian Emanuel's, a bunch of others moving their targets higher, moving the overall S&P targets higher. Well, anyway, Gary Black set off a really nice debate, kind of fun to watch. And people said, for instance, Gary should ignore these fundamentals. There's no changes in the Tesla fundamentals. What's he talking about? It's all in the technicals. Everything that's happening is about the technicals. Or another group saying Tesla's fundamentals haven't changed. It's all about the normal 4 times delta for Tesla during the stock run-up. And in fact, that's about what it's been about 4 times. Those were some of the basic arguments. I think that the Tesla fundamentals have not only shifted, I think the perception of the Tesla fundamentals have shifted. It's never only about actuality and the facts. It's always about the perception, okay? In everything. I mean, what are we talking about here? So anyway, what do you think? Do you think it's the fundamentals? Do you think it's the stock market going up? Do you think it's the fact that the sentiment has changed about the overall market? Do you think it's all, well, okay. I think it's all of the above. That's me. I think the Tesla fundamentals have changed. The sentiment shift has changed in the market and Tesla. And as I said, I've spent a bunch of shows talking about that. Tesla is a story stock. And during the down months of Tesla and the down months of the market, the story was broken. The story about the market, about the overall economy was broken. We had this inflation issue. The inflation issue wasn't going away. And the Fed was raising the rates every month by a bunch to where it was just starting to look crazy, like the Fed might really throw us into a very hard fall. But then the stock was seen as risky. Tesla was thrown into the same category as all of Cathie Wood's risky growth stocks. I came up with the invention of that index, of the Cathie Wood's risky growth stock index, and Tesla was following it just almost exactly on a day-by-day basis in terms of ups and downs. Somehow everybody failed to notice that Tesla had a massive cash pile and no debt, which is the perfect position to be in if you're going into a recession. Better than almost any company on earth in terms of their the amount of cash available, the cash available, ability to raise cash, and no debt. Anyway, so Tesla's fundamentals were anything but risky, but it was being perceived in that way. See what I'm saying? Facts don't matter. Perception matters. Of course, the risky part was the, odd techno king, Elon Musk, who with one word on Twitter could drop the stock by 3%. But those things are transient. They never last. But again, it's perception. So there's a whole bunch of perception issues. Well, there was the Twitter overhang and Elon losing the liberals because of his statements sounding like he might be middle of the road, might even been slightly to the right of middle of the road. So then there was also the advertising question, and that was resolved at least in terms of a statement that he's going to start advertising. So now the underlying market is surging because the market sentiment shifted. I said that the market sentiment had to shift before Tesla was going to go back to 300, and the sentiment shifted, and we all missed it. Only Cathie Wood 3 weeks ago on a Friday night said the bull market has started. Nobody had said it before Cathie. Now everybody agrees. So yes, Tesla has a delta, but Tesla's been moving completely outside the lines. They have not been moving with the market at all. They've been going up on days when the market was down, and they've gone down on days when the market was up. The Tesla narrative is now in the driver's seat. Mark my words, Tesla will not be just moving with the market anytime soon. Now, the next couple of weeks, everybody's going to be waiting for those numbers on July 2nd. That is going to be the next thing I think that is really going to be, that people are really going to be paying attention to. Although there will be things in the macro that will also affect things a little bit over these next few weeks. I would not be shocked to see Tesla in a trading pattern and not getting to 300 until we get those numbers. There's things I'm looking for. I'm looking for some confirmation. I think the market is going to be looking for confirmation like the July 2nd numbers. Here's my list. They're going to be, I think I'm looking for confirmation. I think you might be, and I think the market is 4680 doing way better than what we think it's doing. And I'm going to do a video on that. Dirt flying in Mexico, Shanghai, and Reno. We need to see shovelfuls of dirt taking place at Mexico, Shanghai, and Reno. We need more mega factory announcements. Maybe we could have a gigafactory announcement. I'm not expecting that till later. FSD needs to get significantly better. The rollout of a mouth-droppingly perfect Cybertruck. These are the things, these are the catalysts that I'm looking for. They're not exactly catalysts. I refer to them more as market movers because they're not like one day they happen and the market goes crazy. These are things that will slowly cause sentiment to continue to be positive. It's execution, execution, execution at this point. That's what the market's looking for. Tell me what you think. Hit me in the comments. Let me know. Maybe I'll do another Q&A if there's a lot of great comments. This show is another one that's just chock full of opportunity for you to slam what I've said, agree with me, tell me why I'm wrong, but give me some details. I don't have time to keep responding to people that don't give me details. If you say, Randy, you're completely wrong, I'm not going to respond. If you say, Randy, you're completely wrong because look here, here's where the stock chart hit this number. By the way, I'm not a chartist, but I agree that the charts matter. But here, here's what happened on the chart, and why didn't you include that in your analysis? Let me know where I'm wrong, and I will respond to you there. And who knows, you might be on one of my Q&As. So, if you liked what I did this morning, hit subscribe it and then notify. And then, of course, because the notification, I'm telling you, the shows this week, they're just going to get better and better. We got so many amazing shows lined up this week. In fact, you may have noticed most days now I'm doing 3 shows because there's just so much news and so much to talk about. So if you'd like to be notified of all those shows, hit the notification, and then love to have you part of the Tesla, the Randy Patreon community. There is a 7-day free trial right now. Sign up. You won't be sad. All right, that's it. And it's been great talking to you.